It's time for the opening crack, the sideshow to the D&D show we normally do, where we taste and rank some epic brews. How we doing tonight, fellas?
Here we go again.
It's like deja vu. Here we go. Explain to everybody why.
We're back with the pickles.
That's it. What else do you need to know?
The summer.
This is our series on pickles.
It's a
Refrigerator or can? Dill or sweet?
or just none.
Vinegar or
That's
fermented.
an option as well. Just nobody needs pickles.
All right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard all of our opinions. We'll see you next time. No. So tonight we are taking a look at Pickle Sour by Loveland Aleworks. If everybody would want to take a sip, you may do so now and give us some thoughts.
That's right, Phil.
Okay, I'll take another sip. Here I go, everybody. Whoa, boy.
Boy, cut that sarcasm out of the mouth. Jeez.
So, Damon, what are you
Really?
tasting?
Really getting into this one.
What flavor notes do you detect?
Salt.
Anything else in there?
Oh, we should introduce the beer.
Dill.
Oh, I did.
Okay. What's the pickle beer? Okay.
You did
Pickle
introduce?
Sour. Yeah, by Loveland Aleworks.
That's the name of it.
Okay. I was too like, woo!
They were pretty straightforward with this one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I appreciate that you know what you're getting if you pick this up. It's pickle sour.
Based on the can,
Or
a whole bunch of pickles on it.
mm-hmm. We're not messing around.
well, they didn't throw a curveball, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you asked me flavors that I notice. Salt is the first thing that I notice when I taste it, and then pickle.
And some more pickle.
That's that.
And finishes like a sour.
Yeah. Yeah, as it
It
sits
does.
there, it does like have an upswing that a sour would have. Instead of kind of having more of a mellow finish that most beers do, sours kind of swing up at the end.
So not that we're pickle beer aficionados at this point, but we've had enough that I can tell the difference. And this is noticeably different in how it finishes compared to some of the other ones that we've had.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I assume that is the sour
I assume
taste.
have the other ones been like lagers and stuff? If
Yeah.
I was going to do this, I would do it with a lager.
Yes.
So I think that's the biggest difference is this is the first sour pickle beer that we
Yeah.
had. It's like
Totally
all the other
different
ones have
style.
been like a pickle flavored lager or pilsner or something like that, where it's like the flavor added to a beer. Whereas this is like leaning heavy into that pickle with the sour.
This is more like drinking pickle brine just out of the jar, but then it's alcoholic.
Do you know what I would use this for most specifically? Have you ever had a pickleback?
Yes.
That is what I would want this for.
That sounds like a medical condition.
Like
Man, Phil, how's your pickleback doing?
typically like a shot of Irish whiskey, and then you back it with pickle brine.
Oh,
You
okay.
would back it with this pickle sour, and I actually think that would be like
It would be good for
perfect
you.
thing
That's
to
true.
use it for.
Sure.
It's kind of like how they everything became alcoholic, like teas, seltzer waters, the whole shebang.
Mountain
It's like
Dew.
Mountain Dew, which is okay.
I know, agreed.
And it's like they just well, pickle juice, why not? And not sure if I agree that was a great idea, but
You know,
It's getting better.
you know,
Not gonna lie. Yeah.
after you have had a few sips of it, you kind of get numb to the pickleness of it, and you just notice the sour more and more. If you take a break, though, it's like, whoo, there's a pickle.
I feel like I took a long enough break. It's back, but it's good
Yeah.
now.
Ross, you claimed earlier that you loved this beer.
yes.
Prove it.
What do you want me to do to prove it?
Defend your
I don't
position.
know. Why do you love
You
it?
just want, okay, so it's like I think we've hit on a little bit already. Some of the other pickle beers that we have, like I really wanted pickle. Like I like pickles, so it's like I really want like a pickle flavor to them. And it's not that any of them were bad. It was very beer, 50-50 beer pickle flavor, right? It's not
Sure.
very strong. Whereas this is literally like Brett mentioned. It's almost like drinking brine because that sour leans into that flavor so well. It complements it to the point where you think you're drinking legit pickle brine.
Yeah.
Have you ever bought a pickle from a gas station?
Yes, in those plastic things.
Yep. I thought you were one of those people.
I don't do it all the time. Come on.
Yeah.
What is distinct about that? other than that
tastes
you
You just
like
Just
buying.
you really have to like pickle if you're going to buy one from a gas
It's
station.
like
Okay, got you.
if this
The
was
level of desire.
Yes.
if this was a little more yellow and you told me it was Vlasic pickle brine, I'd be like, "Yep, I think you're absolutely right."
It's a pickle brand.
I love that he can specifically call out what Vlasic's brine tastes like.
Vlasic, Clausen's. Clausen is more mellow than this.
If I
It's
stacked
more
up
like
two,
refrigerator
could
pickle.
you tell
Oh,
me?
I could tell you the difference.
That's impressive.
Color
impressive.
and taste. Oh yeah,
Pickle brine taste test.
let's do it.
You know, I think
Sounds like an episode of
Tune in
Good
next
Mythical
week.
Morning. Rhett and Link, if you're listening, there's your next show.
You can't have that for free though.
Please email us. We'll talk about it.
you know, compared to the other pickle beers that we've had though, this one tastes the most like brine, but it doesn't have brine on the ingredients list. It's like
Yeah.
it's basically all the things you would make in a pickle brine,
Mhm.
but they don't just take somebody else's brine and put it
Well,
in.
you like don't you make like refrigerator pickles sometimes, or like
Yeah,
you
so-
pickle things? I know, and this is what you would put
Yeah,
in
so
your.
in it on the can even blah, blah, blah. It even talks about Pilsner malt, of course, fresh dill, pepper, ground mustard, and then dill pickles.
Yeah.
So a lot of those go into a pickle brine.
Mhm.
Would you like the official description of this beer?
Oh, sure.
A kettle sour base with a ridiculous amount of pickle juice added. So
No.
it does have brine in it. Tart and salty, pairs well with a backyard barbecue, which I could see that now that they mention that. Like if you're eating like very fatty meats like brisket, this would cut through that extremely well.
That is true.
And pickles pair well with barbecue.
Hmm.
I'm just getting weird looks from this.
Damon's just not
It's
sold.
insane. It's just a world that I clearly don't live in, and have no desire to live in.
That's fine.
But yeah, that's you know how bungee jumping is an objectively terrible idea,
Pickle beers rate that for you.
and yet
Can
people
you?
claim that they really love it. They're lying.
Ooh.
That's what this beer reminds me of.
Wow. Hot take. Okay. So this one comes in at a
This is-
5.8% on the ABV.
Not for me. This beer.
Okay.
Spoiler.
We're jumping ahead a little
I
bit.
couldn't tell.
Stay tuned for the yay or nay.
This does come in at a 5.8 on the ABV, 5 on the IBU scale, so super duper low. But with that said, let's head into the realm of Dungeons and Dragons and figure out where this beer comes from and what it might be named for all your tabletops out there. Phil.
Oh, pull yourself up a stool at Pixie's. It's a chain across Faerun that serves Feywild-inspired cuisine such as roasted red caps, fried fairy wings. Not really red caps or fairies were involved in the making of these. But you're going to order Crazy Carl's Pucker Up Kooky. I worked hard on that one.
I've never thought of there being franchises.
What did Crazy Carl do to these pickles?
You don't want to know. Who said it's not Crazy Carl's Pickle?
No. The world of D&D.
Okay, Brett, before we get kicked off the air, I have to put warning tags on this.
Well, I'm going to a dungeon.
Is that where Crazy Carl is?
No, but maybe one of his friends. So we're going to a dungeon and some other semi kind of demi-plane. And we are going to one of the rooms in this dungeon. Feeble old grandpa is making this pickle beer out of some special ingredients, including Lythern pickles. Lythern pickles.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I understand.
Little
So-
do you all know that this demi-plane is really just like when Pixies opens the door to their storeroom. It's this old
Right
man.
into there. For me, we're headed to Ormath, clear in the far south, to the distillery to find Perry's Pucker Punch. What a mother pucker.
Is Perry a platypus?
Is what?
Is
Yes.
Perry a platypus?
Yes. Perry's a platypus. Of all the obnoxious. Okay, sorry. Sidetrack.
Some people will appreciate that. So it's
Yes, they would. All right, Damon, what you got?
So
The carnival.
you know how once upon a time there were like pirate harbors And they were like safe places where the pirates could go.
Tortuga.
Tortuga.
Yeah, and the pirates ran everything. And I think that probably generally everything was sort of kind of terrible there.
They used
Fair.
what they had.
This is one of those sorts of establishment.
Okay.
It's called the Salty Seas.
Ooh.
Is the name of the joint. The name of this sour ale is Ye Who Smelt It.
Oh, yes.
You got to be careful which pub you go to because it could be made with sea cucumbers. I think that's another one shot. Like traveling the streets of Tortuga, trying all the beers.
Yeah.
Ye who smelt it.
So you're just going to run a one-shot that's like a Tortugan bar crawl?
Yep, exactly. The
Roll
trick is,
Constitution.
the thing is, it doubles as a drinking game.
Oh, man.
All right, so yay or nay, boys?
Roll for survival.
I
How
have a
clean was the
feeling to
glass?
my left here for all of you listeners out there that I know what's going to happen here.
Oh, I want to know where Damon's going to place this first.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
CR
His
rating,
challenge
yes.
rating.
Challenge rating 1 to 20, 1 being cream ales, 20 being like double IPAs and the like. Damon, let's start with you this time.
This is in, I guess I don't know what order these episodes are going to air in, but in some other episode that aired or will air
Yep.
at
Once
some
upon
point
a
in time.
It's like we're in limbo right now.
We talked about sometimes beers taste like beer.
Mhm.
This does not taste like beer
Mhm.
at all, I would say. What is 20 the highest?
Mhm.
Yes, it is.
Can we add, are there complication factors?
Technically, challenge rating can run up to 30. It's just
Okay.
typically that the players
30.
get that.
This is a 30.
Ooh, our first 30, ladies and gentlemen.
And probably only.
Probably.
Unless
yeah.
we try another pickle beer.
Yep. Phil, what you got?
So because it is a sour and pickles both and doesn't really taste like beer, I am going to go a little higher than I historically probably would have. I'm thinking like 15,
Mhm.
14, 15, somewhere in there. It's not, I mean, personally, it's like a 4 or 5 probably. But if you want beer, or even if you don't necessarily want like super strong beer taste, you could be turned off pretty heavily by the pickles. You could be turned off by the sour. I
Yeah.
think there's just, or even just the salt.
Yeah, that's a really interesting, because you like personally you would give it like a 4 or a 5. Like this
Yeah.
is
It's pretty easy to drink.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
the more I drink of it, actually, I'm like, I kind of like it. Like I
Yeah.
would drink another one.
So
Not
like
right
I just
now.
think I find that genuinely really interesting, and to talk about like the relativity
Mhm.
of all of these things, because
Everyone's palate's different,
Right. mm-hmm.
So, like,
Yeah.
I would drink it, but it could be challenging to approach.
I would say 17, probably for all those same reasons. Like you pretty much touched on all of them. This one I would have to be in the right mood for.
Fair.
Like I would not always want this beer,
Mhm.
but sour is a little weird for a lot of people. That's a challenging one to get into. But this is a pretty solid one.
Ross?
Yeah, I'd say this is like a 2, right? So I would
Woo,
drink
32.
the entire 4-pack,
So-
but
This is ridiculous.
But I'm going to give this a 20 because of all the things you guys said. If you're looking for a beer, it doesn't taste like beer. If you don't like pickles, you're not going to pick this one up. And if you're not a fan of sours, or if you've never really had sours, you're absolutely right. It does have that sour kick to it, which is not always appealing to people who don't like them or don't drink them on the regular. So I think this is not one that somebody's just going to jump into unless they're really curious about the pickle flavor.
I even wonder if someone that's like loves sours but are used to sweeter or tropical or fruity
Sure,
sours will
yeah.
like go pick this up and be like, whoa,
Yes.
wasn't
Welcome to a
expecting
real
that.
sour.
Now, if we were judging this in terms of like how authentic of a pickle taste is this is the best pickle beer because I think the sour complements the pickle flavor so much that it tastes like you're drinking brine. The salt, everything in it, it's pickle brine, 100%.
Yeah, they have leaned into it, right?
Yes.
This is full send pickle beer.
100%.
Right.
It's
Yes.
just missing the crunch.
Because a lot of times you make a sour and you use the fruity sweetness
Mhm.
to help to balance out the sour of the beer.
Sure.
Right? That sort of that tartness. And this is just it's tart on
Leans.
top of tart on top of tart,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if we were judging this strictly on its pickleness, I think we would probably all be in agreement that it's pretty solid. But if pickle beer, it's not. It's just not.
It would come in as a good kosher dill type of pickle.
Well, there you go.
Not a sweet.
Shalom to that, Brett.
Yeah, not just a sandwich pickle. It's a kosher dill.
Are these mountain pickles?
Well, it's from Colorado, so yes, they are mountain pickles. We're gonna go with that.
Is that code for something?
I have no idea. And with that,
I was just curious.
let's get out of here. This has been the Pickle Sour from Loveland Aleworks. If you're listening, please send us an actual beer.
Don't we do yay or nay?
Crazy Carl.
Oh yeah, yay or nay? Oh my God, we need to back up for a second. Well, I about got out of this one, but we're going back,
You're
people.
stuck in it, buddy.
All right.
This beer has made a short circuit.
I don't know what to do right now. Phil,
Oh, I would yay this one. I'd drink it again.
Brett,
Depending on the day.
yay from me.
This is, I want to say this. I think that they have made the exact beer that they wanted to make.
Sure.
Right. So,
It's just not for you.
but this is absolutely not.
That's fair. Hey, that's fine.
Shocker.
If you want to find more out about Loveland Aleworks and the many other, I'm sure, delicious beers that they make, you can find them at www.lovelandaleworks.com.
And if you have any other pickle beers that you know of,
Oh, God, let us
Keep
know.
them.
bardsandbarrels@gmail.com. You can
Damon
email
wants
us.
to know.
That's going to do it for this episode. Stay tuned for more beer reviews in the future. You can check out our regular show, Bards and Barrels, anywhere podcasts can be found. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Bards and Barrels. Until next time, may your dice be hot and your beer be cold.